into some topics here. Probably one of the biggest movies that has come out here recently. Let's talk about Army of the Dead. It was heavily hyped. A lot of people were excited for it. I was excited for it. And has everybody seen Army of the Dead?
Now, were you excited, Piz, because
Mike is not.
Because you liked the Dawn of the Dead remake he did?
I liked the Dawn of the Dead remake, and I thought the trailer looked pretty fun. I liked the idea of, the zombies sort of turning Vegas into their own little kingdom. You know what I mean? There were things. I'm just going to say, I thought the movie was awful. I really disliked the movie. I didn't hate it. There were things about it I liked, but all in all, I thought it was one of the laziest, most derivative, predictable, dumb movies I've seen in a long time. Even when you get to the point of and I can turn my mind off and just enjoy wow, that was a cool explosion. I can do that all day. But even turning my mind off for this movie, I was going, God, these characters are dumb. God, I hate that. I hate that one character. It's because of her everybody's dying. Why? What is? Is it just me, or were there characters in this movie that just disappeared and there was no explanation as to what happened to them? The whole movie is about saving one character, and at the end, that character completely disappears. Maybe I blinked and we saw her demise. I don't know. The whole movie's about getting this character, and at the very end of the movie, she disappears. What the hell? What the hell?
Did anybody see the Red Letter Media takedown of it? Because they actually found that one of the cameras that Zack Snyder shot it with had dead pixels in the frame, and so every time he used that camera, you can see the dead pixels on the frame. Like they didn't color correct it at all. So.
I've ranted about it. Again, there were things I liked about it. I liked the idea of you had the two different classes of zombies, and you had the alpha zombies, and I liked the idea of Vegas being their little kingdom, and I dug that. But everything else about it was just so predictable and derivative and just lazy and poorly written, and even the acting I thought was I literally was going to do a review of the movie, but I was like, it's sometimes fun to just beat a movie to death with a baseball bat, because some movies deserve it, and this movie kind of does. But I was like, this is just going to be 10 minutes of negativity. I don't want to do that.
And you don't want the Snyder Bros to come after your channel.
Well, look, here's the thing. I've liked most of Zack Snyder's stuff. I've liked more Zack Snyder movies than I've disliked. But I think when you have Zack Snyder needs a writer, because if you look at his track record, his better movies are the ones that he's only directed and not written. The ones where he gets a little to Zack Snyder, he writes them. So there's a pattern here.
And 2.5 hours is ridiculous for this movie. I've compared it to a multi-million-dollar Asylum film, but honest to God, Asylum has made better zombie films than this that are fun in 90 minutes. I was amazed how bad it was, quite frankly. I don't know. I mean, nothing. I can't say one good thing.
Dan, it had to be 2.5 hours because it was patterning itself entirely after Aliens. And Aliens is 2.5 hours.
That is true. That is true. It basically remade it. I know some people have pointed to, I mean, I won't spoil it, but other things other than zombies that were hinted at. I don't care. I honest to God don't care. I know that's like some of the positive reviews, but did you notice this brief flash? I was like, doesn't matter. If you're going to torture me for 2.5 hours, I don't care what else you've got up your sleeve. That movie was garbage.
I've not seen any reviews of it, good or negative, but I'm kind of curious to watch a positive review of it to see what did they like about the movie.
They liked that actor, Tig Notaro, who wasn't even cast in the film. She came in because they had to digitally erase an actor that was problematic. So
which character was she?
She's kind of that butch lady that doesn't give a crap about anything.
Oh, the helicopter pilot.
She's the best part of the film.
She's my favorite character in the movie.
She was completely green screened in the whole movie. She wasn't. She went over another actor.
Yeah.
So. Wow. No idea. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, she was good. I would have liked more of her. I don't think Chris D'Elia was going to make any difference. I mean, anybody complaining about him not being in there, I seriously doubt he would have added anything but some stupid one-liners. I don't know. How can a movie about a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas be so lame? And I don't quite get the barricades. Those zombies seemed awfully spry, and that wasn't very high.
And how do you build it? That's my big question about the barricade. Is it's 3 shipping containers high?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say the zombies for whatever reason don't want to leave Vegas. Okay, cool. But you had to somehow construct this border. So you got to think the military went in far enough to beat them back so that you could dump all these container ships around, right? Well, why didn't the military just continue through and just take care of the problem then?
Yeah.
Are you applying logic, Lauren, again?
So, yeah, I am, because the movie is 2.5 hours long, and it takes itself at times really freaking seriously, which for the subject matter is ridiculous. This was so far my least favorite movie-going experience of the year. This is a horrible film. This really is not worth the time or energy people will put into even like pushing the remote control button to watch a streaming version of it. I don't see anyone I can suggest this thing to. I really hated it. I will.
Well,
Piz says he didn't hate it. I hated it.
Oh, well, the more I'm thinking about it now, the more I think I probably did hate it. But there were, like I said, there were a couple things I liked about it. But, you mentioned the barricade. Did you notice when they were going into Vegas, the only thing that was separating the zombies from the people was like a little piece of wood that they propped up against the door? Literally. Yeah. That's it. That was it. She lifted a little piece of wood to open the container door, and then they were in Vegas. Wow. These are super zombies, by the way.
Yes.
Little piece of wood.
If it had gone full absurdist, it would have been fine.
Yeah, yes.
But they kept wanting to have emotional stakes, which none of it worked. Because I don't know about you, but I not only did I not care about any characters except for the helicopter pilot, I actively disliked all of them.
The daughter. Oh,
she was so bad. Oh,
the daughter is like not even a character; it's just a plot device that walks around.
Yeah, and kills everybody and gets everybody killed.
Yeah.
What's the worst decision I can make at this moment?
Exactly. and the movie wants you to like her the most out of everybody.
Jesus Christ.
And
she's the point of view character.
And have you ever seen a movie that had a worse depth of field? I mean, it was like 3 inches away from the person in the front's face. It was out of focus. Like the entire movie.
I think that was the idea of hiding the fact that this, for a superstar budget film, was not a huge budget film.
90 million.
Well, for something of this scale and length, that's and by the way, no one works cheap when you're on a Zack Snyder set, right?
Right.
So I think they were just the photography, which was him. He was the director of photography of the thing, which is already a problem because maybe that's where all the attention to normal directing went. But it is a bad looking film. It looks digital. Everything looks like it's shot on green screen because spoilers. It was all shot on green screen. The actors seem I'm not even talking about the helicopter pilot to everyone else. They all seem distanced from each other. Like none of them seem to really be interacting, even when they're 3 feet away and answering each other's questions. It's just very rote and mechanical. The movie, it does not feel like it was made by humans.
Robert brings up an interesting point. I forgot about this. He says, "Did you see the spaceship at the beginning? Wasn't there a spaceship in the beginning?" So what was that about? Is the zombie thing like some sort of alien disease, or was the alpha zombie an alien? I mean, what are they trying to say here?
We're gonna get a CGI tiger in space in the sequel, naturally, but
sequel and prequel anime.
I mean, more power to him, and more power to those who liked it. I mean, I guess we're going to have a lot more Army of the Dead stuff, and I mean, enjoy it.
Well, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a bullet that I was lucky to miss. I don't feel like I missed anything, and I actually feel like my life has been enriched by skipping this experience. At first I thought I'm not really going to have much to add, but anything I would have to add probably wouldn't be positive anyway. So thanks again, though. I appreciate it. You guys are pals.
Mike, if you go on YouTube and just type in best moments of Army of the Dead, watch about 2 minutes, and that's you'll be good.
I mean, there's actually 2 minutes.
There might be 2 minutes in total. But I would also say, check out the Asylum Mockbuster Zombies 3 Aquarium of the Dead. It is, in fact, a better movie. As sad as that sounds.
That's really sad.
Skip this, Mike, and if you've got Shudder, there's a great movie on there now called Sator, Sator. I watched the other night. Really good. Highly recommend it.
I almost checked that out, but I had to watch something else instead. But I will be. That definitely looked entertaining. Of course, Psycho Goreman is now available on Shudder, and I'll be checking that out as well. I have that sense of humor, so I'll probably like that one too. But Sator definitely looked interesting. I'm glad I skipped this one though.
You're welcome.
I went to see Spiral instead, and I think I made the right choice.
Did you like? Oh yeah. Did you like Spiral?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I don't hate Saw. I don't love Saw. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in the middle as far as that series goes. But I thought it was pretty good. It was entertaining. I was glad I went to the movies and didn't regret spending the money, and I had a good time. So I thought Chris Rock was good. Samuel L. Jackson's always good, no matter what. Could have been a bigger role, but it was good for what we got. It had its weak moments, but overall, yeah, I liked it.
I was going to say the Alamo Draft House just opened back up here in Brooklyn, and had Army of the Dead opened up this week, I would have went to see it, but instead I went to go see The Warriors, Walter Hill's The Warriors, for the first time on the big screen, and I think that was a hell of a better choice, probably, because 90% of everybody I know said it was bad, except for my boss. I cannot explain that.
So I actually went to the theater to see Army of the Dead.
Ugh.
I'm sorry.
And what I can say is it gave me a new appreciation for the after effects of Moderna vaccine.
It's funny though, because do you remember back when Eddie Murphy came out with Dreamgirls, and then he lost the Oscar because Norbit came out right before the Oscar? I feel like that's what's happened with Zack Snyder. I mean, I really, really liked the Justice League, and then this is the Norbit.
Yeah, that's not a bad that's not a bad comparison. Here's the funny thing. Why does there seem to be such a big media bias against Zack Snyder? What has he done to deserve? Like the other day, there was Variety posted an article bashing Man of Steel. Why are you posting an article about Man of Steel 10 years after that movie came out? That's because everybody's happy. Everybody's like hyped up about Army of the Dead, but here you are bashing a movie he did 10 years ago. What's the point?
Warner Brothers is sending stories out to those publications because they don't want to be in business with Zack Snyder, and they want to turn people away from his work. They put out like snuff stories in Hollywood Reporter and stuff to kind of make people shy away. So they're so mad he got his cut of Justice League released.
and it's not just like it's not just like Variety and stuff like that. It's just random people on Twitter that I see just like bashing him and saying horrible things about him. And it's like I don't particularly get it. Why is there a bias against Zack Snyder?
Well, first of all, our culture, once they get a hold of the bone, they're the dog that won't let go. That's all of our society. No one changes their mind ever. No one can admit, hey, my opinion has evolved. It's just whatever I am right now, I have to double down on for all time. And there was a period where when Batman vs. Superman came out, Zack Snyder made a bad movie that disappointed a lot of people. And at that point, it became very popular to just bring the hate train and we're not in a place in our society where people can put the proper context to a moment and say, yeah, that film sucked, but maybe the next one will be better. Mm-hmm. There's a point where I give up on directors, certainly, but then I stop watching the movies, right? So I can't tell you a thing about Avatar because I gave up on James Cameron by then. I can't bash Avatar. I have no right to do it because I'm not going to do that. Like, I feel like the Zack Snyder haters are the same as the Michael Bay haters. Let's face it, Michael Bay makes bad films. But if you're buying a ticket for a Michael Bay film at this point, whose fault is it?
That's been my argument for a long time. It's like people who don't. I mean, obviously now he's a pariah, but I used to say, if you don't like Woody Allen movies, why are you going to see a Woody Allen movie? By after a while, they have such a style. If you don't like Wes Anderson, don't go see a Wes Anderson movie. They're all the same style. I mean, people just turn against filmmakers all the time, and then they come back, and the renaissance happens.
Yeah. But
only when a special edition Blu-ray comes out with a slipcover.
The 5.5 hour version of this as well.
Snyder's laughing his way to the bank, though. He got his cut of Justice League out. Army of the Dead, I'm sure, is doing pretty well. I'm sure he got paid well for it. So, I mean,
it's not doing well theatrically, but that's not where they're intending to make their money. So,
right.
Subscribe to the Region Free YouTube channel and also check out the Patreon to get exclusive content and become a Regionaire.